Welcome to Finger Lake Stories. This video documents stone piles found in the High Tor area of Yates County, New York. The High Tor Wildlife Management Area is located on the western edge of Yates County, just east of Naples, New York. I've always considered it the Wild West of Yates County. It was pretty much the last place developed and the least developed area of this part of the state. This place has always felt very spiritual to me. It's wild and beautiful, as this video shows. This is the overlook. There's a lean-to here, and it's not far from Parish Gully or Conklin Gully. And you can see through this drone flight that it goes up the hill, and you can look down the valley to the West River, and you can see the south end of Canandaigua Lake, and off in the distance is Clark Gully, the birthplace of the Seneca Nation. Below is Conklin Gully, or Parish Gully, and this is all very important Native American land. So the stone piles that I'm going to show today, I believe, are related to Native American history, although some of them may have been made by pioneers who tried to clear this land and settle it at one time. The original settlers cleared this land for the white pines that were used for ship masts and made charcoal from the white oaks that were found in the forest here. This map shows that this was settled by pioneer families. There were sheep farmers, and they grew potatoes and winter wheat and things like that. But the soil here is loaded with rocks, so the farms didn't last. And eventually the farmers gave up and gave the land to New York State. The isolation of this area and the lack of development, I believe, has led to the preservation of hundreds of Native American stone piles that are found in the woods in this area. These Native American stone piles were documented by the pioneers that moved here, and I'm going to include a reference to that in this video. Each of the stone piles that you see is a different stone pile. So let's take a walk in the woods. These large piles like this are found near the overlook, and you'll find them right around the trail there. In fact, one is right behind the outhouse at the overlook. They just look like piles of rocks in the video, so I'm not going to show too many of them because they're obviously not all that interesting. I would note the quantity of the rocks that are found there. There are no marks from tilling, and the location of the stone piles doesn't make sense from an agricultural point of view. I'd like to bring in a historical reference at this point while I'm showing you these stone piles. This is an excerpt from the book No Man Knows My History by Dr. Fawn Brody, and it's about the early history of Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon religion. I'm going to read it to you as you watch these videos. There is, of course, a gold mine or buried treasure on every mortgaged homestead. Whether the farmer ever digs for it or not, it is there, haunting his daydreams when the burden of debt is almost unmeasurable. New England was full of these treasure hunters, poor, desperate farmers, having unwittingly purchased acres of rocks, locked to those same rocks to yield up some recompense for their backbreaking toil. We could name, if we please, said one Vermont weekly, at least 500 respectable men who do in the simplicity and serenity of their hearts believe that immense treasures lie concealed among our green mountains, many of whom have been for a number of years industriously and perversely engaged in digging it up. When these men migrated west, they brought with them the whole folklore of money digging and spells and incantations and witch hazel sticks and mineral rods. But where the Green Mountains yielded nothing but an occasional cache of counterfeit money, western New York and Ohio were rich in Indian relics, Hundreds of burial mounds dotted the landscape, filled with skeletons and artifacts of stone, copper, and sometimes beaten silver. There were 8 such tumuli within 12 miles of the Smith farm. That's where Joseph Smith lived. Joseph Smith lived in Palmyra, which is less than 30 miles from these woods, and he's known to have dug up stone piles in search of treasure and evidence of the lost tribe of Israel. Ironically enough, not long after digging up these piles, he is claimed to have found his golden tablets. As he traveled west with the Mormons towards Utah, he also found mounds in Ohio that he documented. So these mounds were documented by early settlers that came here in the 1800s and cleared the lands. In other YouTube videos, I've shown stone piles in this area, near this area, that were more heaps. You could barely see any stacking. But these in High Tor, this part of High Tor, there are plenty that show stacking around the bottom edge. So these were not just piles of rocks. These were built structures at one point. And I think that's an indication that the farmers didn't make these. I don't think they would stack the rock up like this. And it's the same shape over and over again. A little earlier in the video, I did show one that was rectangular with a round circle at the end. This is a circle about 20 feet in circumference, and you can usually see one side is still stacked, and a lot of times they've been knocked down over the years, so the stacking may be in the center, you don't know. Now occasionally I'll find one of these that has been opened up, and you can tell a stone pile that's been opened up. You can see where the stones were pulled out and the center has been exposed. I've never opened any stone pile or touched any of the rocks on these stone piles. I'll leave that for other folks to do. So this is a mystery. Were these just left over from farmers clearing the land? Because the farmers did live around here. I found wells near these and stone walls that I don't think were Native American. But I do think that seeing these stone piles spread across property lines, in groups, and there's a lot of places in this area where there are no stone piles at all, but there's tons of rocks in the ground. I don't think this is an agricultural phenomenon. I think this is Native American. And the reason I'm doing this is because this needs to be recognized and preserved. I believe this is part of the stone mound building culture that lived in the Finger Lakes and should be recognized and preserved. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.